Hola, estudiantes. Hopefully, you guys are okay. I'm sorry that you missed the Zoom call today. It was super fun. But I was so excited to see everyone that I didn't click record. And so I'm re-teaching everything I talked about on the Zoom. And I'll add the question and answer part. I was able to remember that I was supposed to record it, and I clicked record for the question, the Q&A. So I will post that too. But I'm just going to go ahead and make this video for you guys who missed it. And that way you can also get the lesson that you need for direct objects. So today, this is going to be the last lesson for new material for this whole semester. This will be the last thing I get to teach you till January, okay? So we are going to talk about direct object pronouns. And on the Zoom, I asked the kids, what do you guys know about direct object pronouns already? And some of them talked about the verb and receiving the action, and it's always a noun and things like that, and most of it was correct. So I went ahead and started the meeting asking how everybody felt and what are some good things happening in your life, and checked in today and things like that. And then we got to the objectives. So today we are going to learn to identify the direct object in a sentence. We're going to learn how to replace the direct object with the direct object pronoun. And we're going to learn how to rewrite the sentence using the newly identified DOP, direct object pronoun. So let's start with the basics. What is a direct object in Spanish? And the direct object, or objeto directo in Spanish, is a noun or a pronoun that receives the action of the sentence. So the objeto directo answers who or what in regards to the verb. So in English, a sentence would be like, Melissa needs a pencil. So Melissa is the subject, and the verb would be need. And you need to ask yourself, what is it, or who is it, but in this case it's a what is it that Melissa needs, right? And so after I ask myself that question, I'll be able to answer it and say she needs a pencil. So pencil is my DO, my direct object, okay? So another example is I want to watch TV, right? I'm the subject. The verbs, there's two verbs, want to watch, right? Two verbs. So I need to ask myself, what is it that I want to watch? And the answer is TV. TV is my direct object, okay? So did you know in order to have a direct object, you must have a verb? To find the direct object, you're going to ask yourself who or what receives the action of the verb. For example, it says she gave the flowers, right? We usually will have they gave the flowers to someone, but we're going to talk about that later. She gave the flowers. Subject is she. Gave is the verb. And then you ask yourself, what is it that she gave? And you'll find your answer. You'll find your DO. So what is it that she gave? She gave flowers. Flowers is my direct object. Okay. So how do I find the direct object? First, you're going to ask yourself, what is the and what are the verbs of this sentence? Okay, what is the noun or the subject, and what is the verb of the sentence? I need to rewrite that here. So the sentence is mi abuela bebe té caliente. Now, I know that grandma is my subject, abuela, and the verb is bebe, drinks. So now I need to ask myself, what is it that grandma drinks? So when I find the answer, I found my DO. What is it that grandma drinks? So now you ask yourself who or what is receiving the verb. So who or what is grandma drinking? And in this case, the answer is hot tea, té caliente. So now I know how to identify the DO by asking myself who or what is receiving the action of the verb. So next, you know how to identify the DO. So let's practice. I have 4 sentences here, and on the Zoom, I had in the chat people one by one trying to tell me what the DO is of each sentence. Okay, so the first one was yo necesito hacer mi tarea, right? I need to do my homework. So I am the subject, and then need to do. I have two verbs. So I ask myself, what is it that I need to do? And then I'll get my answer, my homework. Homework is my direct object. Okay, la tarea. Number 2, el señor Pérez tiene mi cuaderno. So Mr. Pérez, he has my notebook. I need to ask myself, subject is señor Pérez, the verb is tiene, and what is it that señor Pérez has? He has my notebook. Notebook is going to be my DO. Okay? Same thing with number 3. Nosotros pedimos pollo y verduras. So we order. I don't know if you remember pedir. Pedir is to ask for or order. So we order chicken and vegetables. Now, ask yourself who or what of the verb. In this case, to order, what is it that we order? The answer is chicken and vegetables. That is my direct object. Number 4, Carmen and Diana quieren beber agua. So Carmen y Diana want to drink water. Whoops. What do I need to ask myself, who's the subject? Carmen, Diana. What's the verb? Quieren. And what is it that they want to drink? Oh, quieren beber, by the way, 2 verbs. What is it that they want to drink? Agua. Agua is my direct object. Okay. So now that I can identify the direct object, what now? Okay. What's the next step? So now that we can, now we want to replace the DO for a DOP. In other words, your direct object pronoun. So now we can say things like, I need it, or they ate them, we like him. So we don't have to say the long version of sentences anymore. Now we can say the short version of sentences. So this is where I can replace DOs for DOPs. I can replace my direct object for direct object pronoun and make the sentence shorter. The old version, I want to drink soda. Now by replacing the DO for a DOP, now I can say I want to drink it. Okay, I don't have to say I want to drink soda. Now I can just say I want to drink it. Old version, I love Samuel. The new version, the way we're learning how to replace the direct object, in this case, who do I love? Samuel. Samuel is my direct object. My direct object pronoun to replace Samuel will be him. I love him. Okay. In Spanish, the old way, yo quiero beber refresco. I want to drink soda. I'm the subject. What do I want to drink? Soda. So the new way, instead of saying all these words, 4 words, I'm going to cut it into 2 by saying I want to drink it. Quiero beberlo. Okay. I love Samuel. I love him, right? Lo amo. So I went from 4 words to 2. This is just a benefit. You don't have to understand this right now, but it's kind of cool that I can take a really long sentence and say the same thing in 2 words, right? But what am I replacing my direct object with? What are the pronouns? What are my options to do that? Well, your options are kind of like the same options you have for your gusta sentences, like me gusta and te gusta and nos gusta. If you remember those, they're pretty much the same except the bottom. So he, she, it is lo and la, and them is los and las. Okay. So if I like it, it's going to be down here. If I like them, it's going to be down here. If let's say I love us, it's going to be nos. And if you love me, it's going to be me. And I love you, it's going to be te. So whoever their object is, the object of a sentence can be a person and people. So be aware of that. Okay. Now these are my options. So let's practice. On the Zoom, I had people answer in the chat to guess what the pronoun is going to be to replace the DO that I underlined. So number 1, Elizabeth needs a computer. Elizabeth necesita una computadora. I went ahead and underlined the DO for you, which is computer, and I had everyone tell me what they thought the pronoun would be to replace computadora. And everyone actually did a really good job and said la, which is excelente because computer is singular, right? Computer is feminine, and it's not a person, so it can't be me and te and nos. It can't be one of those. So what I can use is the singular and feminine pronoun for it, which is going to be la. So computadora would be replaced by la. Number 2, los estudiantes sacan buenas notas. I had everyone tell me in the chat what they thought I could replace buenas notas for, right? So I underlined the DO, the students get good grades. I underlined the DO, and I wanted them to guess what the DOP would be to replace it. And most of them said las, right? Because buenas notas means good grades. It's feminine and it's plural, and it's not a person. Good grades is an object, is a thing. So we went ahead and said las, and that is correct. Number 3, yo como muchos vegetales. What do I eat? Lots of vegetables. Vegetables is my DO, and in Spanish, vegetales is masculine, and it's plural. So I had them guess what pronoun I would use, and most of them said los, which is correct because masculine and plural. And now number 4 is a great example of using a person as an object, right? The object of a sentence. So necesito a mi mamá means I need my mom. So I ask myself, who's the subject? It's going to be I, even though yo isn't there. Like you can't just bluntly see yo. I know I'm the subject because the verb ending tells me that it's yo, right? The O on there tells me it's me. So I know I'm the subject. The verb is need, and who do I need? Mom. Mom is my DO. So my DOP to replace mom is going to be la, okay? So people can be direct object pronouns in sentences. So in English, a good example would be I love you. I'm the subject, love is the verb. Who is it that I love? You. You are my direct object. And if I were to rewrite that, I'd replace you with te. Okay. The teacher likes us. Okay. Teacher is the subject. Likes is the verb. Who is it that the teacher likes? Us. So nosotros, I would have substitute nosotros for nos. Okay. Things like that. So what do I replace them with? If you ever see a sentence where a mí is the object, you're going to use me when you rewrite it. If it's a ti, you're going to use te. If it's a él, a ella, a usted, a Carmen, a Juan, a la chica, al estudiante, whoever one singular person is or thing, right? If the person or thing is a one object singular, masculine, feminine, you go with lo or la. If we or us is the object, you go with nos. If you ever see a vosotros, you go with os. If you ever see a ellos, a ellas, a ustedes, a Carmen y Juan, or a las chicas, or a los estudiantes, or los marcadores, to say it correctly, 3, right? So 3 things I replace with either los or las, depending if it's masculine or feminine. Now that we know how to identify our DO and we know how to replace our DO with a DOP, we're ready to learn how to write our sentences, to rewrite them, right? So we're rewriting I love Samuel to I love him, okay? Things like that. So when you have one verb in a sentence, you're going to place that newly discovered DOP, you're going to place it before the conjugated verb. So what is a conjugated verb? It's that verb that you changed in the sentence, okay? So that's that verb that you changed the ending for, the AR, ER, and IR ending, that's the verb. So you're going to put your may, your te, your lo, your nos, whatever DOP you picked, you're going to put it before the verb, okay? Now, when you have 2 verbs in a sentence, that means you get 2 options, okay? So your first option is to do exactly what we just talked about. Even though there's 2 verbs, you still grab that la and lo and nos or may, whatever it was, grab it and you put it before the conjugated verb. But you have a second option because there's 2 verbs. So the second option, you can attach, right? Literally attach it to the DOP, attach the DOP, to the infinitive verb, which is the verb that hasn't been changed, the AR, ER, and IR verb. Because remember, if you have 2 verbs in one sentence, in one clause, the first one's going to be conjugated, but the second has to stay AR, ER, and IR. Okay, you can't have 2 conjugated verbs in one clause. So the fact that the first one's conjugated, that second one is going to stay AR, ER, and IR. So you can attach your may, you can attach these, the may, te, lo, whatever it is that you replace them with, you can attach it to the AR, ER, and IR. So example here, yo quiero comprar frutas. Subject, yo. Verb, there's two. Quiero comprar, I want to buy. And my DO is frutas. Okay? Fruit is my DO. So my DOP, let me go back. My DOP, I need to replace frutas. So what am I going to replace frutas with? I know it's feminine. I know it's plural. And I know it's not a person. So I'm going to go down here. All right. And I'm going to pick las. Frutas, I can replace frutas with las. Now that I picked it, now I got to put it in the right spot when I rewrite it. So I rewrite yo, and because I have two verbs, I have two places I can put it. I can put my las before the verb like I did right here. Yo las quiero comprar. See, this verb is changed. You see how it's conjugated at the end? And this one's AR. So I put the las before the changed one. Yo las quiero comprar. Now, my other option, I can literally attach it to the AR and say, yo quiero comprarlas, right? Comprarlas. Both of these translate in English to, I want to buy them. What was them referring to? Fruit. Okay, they, the fruit. Them, the fruit. So this is a visual of what happens when you have two verbs. I want to buy. I can place my las, my DOP, before the conjugated, or I can attach my DOP to the AR, ER infinitive verb. So we have some practice. We're going to use the same sentences we already identified the DO for. So earlier we decided that yo necesito hacer la tarea. We decided that la tarea was the DO. What was my DOP? I'm going to pick la because tarea is singular and it's feminine. So I need to rewrite this. And because I have two verbs, I need to do. Because I have two verbs, I have two options. I can place my la right before the conjugated verb. Right here, yo la necesito hacer. Or I can attach it. Necesito hacerla. And they both say, I need to do it. It, the homework. Okay, I need to do it. I need to do it. La necesito hacer or necesito hacerla. Okay. Number two, identify the object. We're going to do that again. El señor Pérez tiene mi cuaderno. Pérez is my subject. Has is my verb. What does he have? He has my notebook. Notebook is my direct object. I'm going to replace my DO for a DOP. And I'm going to pick lo because cuaderno is masculine and it's singular. So where do I put it? Since there's only one verb, look at my lo. It's right before tiene. El señor Pérez lo tiene. Okay? Which in English this says Mr. Pérez has it. What does he have? He has my notebook. Okay? Lo is referring to the cuaderno. This one has one verb as well. So there's only one spot I can put it. Let's figure it out. It says we order chicken and vegetables. So chicken and vegetables is my direct object. My pronoun, because there's two different things. One is masculine and one is feminine. You're going to go ahead and pick the plural masculine. Anytime there's a masculine in there with the feminine, you have to go masculine. Okay? So I'm going to pick los because I have two things and they're different. So I'm going to go with los. I'm going to pick los, but I can't just leave it there. I have to place the los, the direct object pronoun. I have to place it in the right spot. So nosotros, it'll be right here. Los pedimos. See? Nosotros los pedimos. I put it before the verb. There's only one verb, so it's not that hard. This one has two verbs. Carmen and Diana want to drink sodas, right? So Carmen and Diana is my subject. Want to drink, verb one, verb two. And then what do they want to drink? Sodas. Soda is my direct object. And check this out. Direct object is feminine and the direct object is plural. So out of my options, me, te, lo, la, nos, os, los, las are my options. I'm going to pick las, okay? Because it's feminine, plural. It's not a person. So where do I put that las? Two verbs, two options. Can you think? I hope you figured it out. We got two options. So I can place my las before the changed verb and say, Carmen and Diana las quieren beber, right? Which in English says, Carmen and Diana want to drink them. Or I can say, Carmen and Diana quieren beber las and attach that last to the AR, ER. In this case, it's an ER. Carmen y Diana quieren beberlas. Okay. And they both in both in English say Carmen and Diana want to drink them referring to the sodas. Okay, and this is the part on the Zoom where I had people text and they did a fun live poll where we saw our results and stuff like that, which is pretty fun. And we had some Q&A. So thank you for taking the time to watch this lesson. There's a little bit of this on the final, not too much because it's pretty new. There'll be a little bit of this on the final, and hopefully you guys are doing okay. So just text me via Remind if you have any questions, and go ahead and watch the video with the Q&A with the kids asking some of their questions about final and stuff like that. So hopefully you guys are okay. Let me see if I can take the camera off. I don't know how to do that. How do I stop sharing? Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and exit this presentation, but if you have any questions or anything that you would